here with comedian, just your average feminist, pick me girl, comedian, founder of the Grace Box, host of Yes, my girl from way, way back, Bethany.
Hey, what's up? What's up? I always love
Ah,
hearing my introduction, especially like, you know what I'm saying? Speak about me, okay? Ian Hibachi in the back. Yeah.
girl, thank you so much again for number one, agreeing to be of the Brown Girls Brunch. We are so excited, Bethany, for you to bring your spark, your charisma, your comedianship to our gold carpet. First, we want to start by asking you to tell us who you are, and how your personality has helped you build your brand.
Of course. So, like you mentioned before, my name is Bethany. I go by BK. I am from the illustrious Greensboro, North Carolina. 336 in the building, okay? I graduated from Shaw University with a business management degree, and I currently live in Charlotte. I started comedy back in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. How I came across of it, as you already know, because you my girl from way back, everybody used to say, and I haven't changed. I haven't changed. Everybody used to say, I'm funny, I'm loud. Like I've been the same person this entire time. But my family was really the like foundation for comedy for myself because that's how we bonded. We love watching comedy shows. We love watching, like, our favorite ones was Kings of Comedy, which was shot in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I always had such a great respect for the art. And so I was really intimidated because being funny does not mean that you are a comedian, you know? So it was something that I was always so afraid to get started with, and people kept pushing me and pushing me. And one day, my homeboy from North Carolina Central, C-Raw, shout out to C-Raw, he was like, yo, I'm gonna put you on stage. So get ready, you got 2 months. And yeah, and so I got on stage and it was amazing. I did amazing that day. And ever since then, I just kind of took off. So I think for me, my personality has really helped me be transparent as it pertains to comedy. Because for me, comedy is so helpful being able to give people the truth in a digestible way. So, you know, it's always been such um a sword for me, a tool for me, sometimes even a mask for me to be able to get through whatever situation I need to get through and pretty much come out on top. So I definitely just, I love it. I love comedy. I love making people laugh and I love spreading joy.
I can definitely attest to the facts that were stated in this damn opening. Bethany, you have definitely always had an outgoing personality. You have definitely always been hilarious. And I think it's just so funny because those are some things I've heard about myself. But you
Yes.
can't pay me to get on the stage, boo. This right here for the friends and the family only. I don't think I could do it. I hear
Uh-huh.
people all the time like, girl, get on the podcast or do TikTok. And I'm like,
Yes. You
mm-mm,
should try. Like,
mm-mm.
you should try. Listen, try it. Don't knock it till you try it, because when you get that first check, you're gonna be like, well, you know
Now,
what?
honey,
It ain't
now, honey, we love to cash in a coin. We love to
yes,
cash in
that
a
might.
coin.
I got a few opinions about that. Okay.
Love being able to like tell a hard truth in a digestible way. Often
Yeah.
as Black women, we are told that we're too loud or that we are too opinionated or that we are too strong. How
Yeah.
has your ability to use comedy to overcome those stigmas helped you as a Black woman?
Yeah, I think for me, it's a duality because not only am I a Black woman, but I'm a light skinned woman. So, you know, for myself, I've always had to have the understanding of my privilege of being light skinned, as well as, you know, put the weight of a Black woman, you know, that stigma on my back. So I think comedy has always helped me understand others and get people to understand my point of view. I've always felt the need to be the voice of the people, whatever people that may be. If it's Black women, if it's minorities, if it's Black men, if it's people from Greensboro, if it's Shaw University and smaller HBCU institutions, I've always wanted people's voices to be heard. And sometimes people can't be heard if they are offended. And they can't listen if they are offended. So I've always used comedy as that light of like, hey, this is how you all can relate. Or maybe you're taking things too heavy. Maybe you're being a little bit too sensitive about this. It's okay to laugh about yourself, and it's okay to see the flaws in others, as long as you understand that we are all flawed. We all have things to overcome. And so it's always been very solution oriented for myself, even when I go out on jobs, as you know, interviews, and just a plethora of different opportunities for me. Comedy has always been that catalyst to be able to give people understanding to what I feel like I want them to understand. Because I'm an on and off type of person. So I don't really have a filter when it comes to just being brutally honest. So that's why, like, you know, even with my podcast, Hard Truth, like that's that opportunity for me to say what I want to say, how I want to say it. And I've never really exercised that opportunity, because I've always wanted people to understand what the message was that I was trying to give. I think one of my favorite quotes said, "Lord forgive me, it is by Bill Cosby, but you know, this is before I knew what he had goings on with the goings on. Okay, this I didn't know that. You feel me? This was the Cosby Show. This is actually Cliff Huxtable clip. Okay, so this is not Bill Cosby. This Cliff Huxtable. But one of my favorite scenes is when I think it was, I can't remember the light-skinned dude. He was like saying, oh, you know, I don't remember. Anyway, the clip was, he was saying it's all about the delivery. He said, what's your favorite meal? And the dude said, oh, I love a nice juicy steak with mashed potatoes and asparagus. He said, okay, what if I delivered that on a trash can lid? Right? So to say, it really doesn't matter what your message is if your delivery is so harsh. And I think that's why comedy has been able to transcend for years, even though it is very controversial in certain topics. It still gives people the ability to see the truth at face value and not feel attacked on most occasions. Of course, you have those one-offs, but you know, in general, that's what comedy is. Comedy and pain go hand in hand. So it's being able to see what people go through on a day-to-day basis in a lighter manner. I hope that answered the question.
It answered the question. I think it answered the question well. I think I can to when we were like seniors in high school. And by the way, audience, Bethany and I did not go to the same high school,
Right.
But we had mutual friends around the city. And so like we were both gonna go to North Carolina Central.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell us that we was not gonna be Eagles. Listen. And so Bethany, y'all ended up going to Central. And I ended up staying in Greensboro, going to sorry, Bethany, the North Carolina A&T. But I did end up becoming an Eagle because y'all know that was my first.
Okay.
My second at Central. But I remember going to university and everybody was planning to go to Central. Then you went out to Central and I believe you became Miss Freshman, right?
Right. Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then you transferred to Shaw where you graduated, but you also became Miss Shaw. Talk about the transition from Greensboro to Durham to Raleigh, and how you think those transitions and your ability to meet a plethora of people helped you get to where you are today.
Absolutely. I love that question. So coming from Greensboro, one thing about it, I never experienced people not liking me. You know, maybe people didn't like my friend group, or it was like, you know, the little fake Dudley and Northeast beef or the Smith and Dudley beef, but we really didn't have, well, we didn't have any big, like we all, for the most part, got along with one another. And it was a mutual respect. As long as you respect me, I will respect you. So I was super, super excited to go to North Carolina Central University. North Carolina Central is probably one of the greatest decisions I've ever made in my entire life. but while I was there, I didn't make the greatest decisions. And so, you know, being there, that was my first time experiencing people not liking me who did not know me. And I genuinely did not know how to handle it. And, you know, it got overwhelming with trying to, you know, my brother was going there and he was a big deal. And I was Prince's little sister. And it was this standard of, oh, I have to be this and I have to do that. And, you know, I just got overwhelmed. And so I actually went back home for a semester and didn't know if I wanted to go. Yeah, like people didn't know that. But yeah, I went back home to Greensboro. I didn't know if I wanted to finish at North Carolina Central or if I wanted to transfer. And, you know, I just prayed on it, honestly. And I was like, you know what? I've been in Greensboro. I lived under my family's name. Went to North Carolina Central, lived under my brother's name. Let me give myself an opportunity to grow with my name, with no one knowing me. And so, you know, going from North Carolina Central to Shaw, that was that transition from coming up under someone else's shadow and being my own self. And I never had the intention on becoming Miss Shaw. I was going to go there, I was going to get my degree, and I was going to get up out of there. And when I got there, it was spring 2015. I started working with the women's basketball team, and I was like, oh, I like this. You know, a lot of things that I learned from North Carolina Central, I was able to bring over there, just how to do a lot of like curating and event planning and hosting. And I was like, well, shoot, let me just do a little bit since I'm here. I don't have nothing else to do. And so then I started working with the basketball team, and then I became an RA. And this was like all in the first semester. And then by the second semester, I had started the student association board, that student activities board, which they didn't have at the time. And so I was like, okay, cool. So let's throw some events. Let's do this. Girl, by next spring, I got there spring 2015. By spring 2016, I was Miss Shaw. So it just kind of spoke volumes to myself of I think I am and not what people told me who I was supposed to be. And so being able to gain things on my own merit was what Shaw University gave to me. They appreciated me for just being Bekay. That was it. It wasn't because of what they heard, what they thought I should be doing. It was, we like what you are doing on this university and you represent us well. And so that learning from Greensboro, being able to have that family, that safety net, that comfort is what Greensboro gives me. North Carolina Central is the place that made me a woman. It introduced me to a lot of highs and lows. It introduced me to my insecurities, my flaws, things I need to work on. And Shaw introduced me to the woman I am today. So all of that for me was like a butterfly effect. It was that cocoon, caterpillar, butterfly. And I wouldn't change any part of that growth because all of those experiences is what made me who I am today. So that's why I go so hard for Shaw University. I love Shaw University. That, you know, go Bears. And I go super hard for North Carolina Central. Go Eagles, Eagle Pride Amplified. And I go super hard from Greensboro because it's like, you know, all of those things, the good, the bad, and the ugly, were lessons that I needed to make me the person I am today. So I love all of them. I love everybody.
I love hearing your transition because I did not know, like I knew you went to Shaw and I knew that you became Miss Shaw in 2016 because I think that's around that like I personally started getting back on social media. I took 5-year hiatus from socials when we were in college. Like it was a long we went to college. If you think about it, after about our first 2 years in school, nobody saw me for a long time.
That is so true.
I'm telling you, girl, like when I came back, I was a mom.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everything had changed. And I think just hearing your story, it really puts me in a place of like, dang, Tierra, you really need to be a lot more appreciative about your journey. Because for me, as I said, I wanted to go to North Carolina Central. That was my only like #1 school. I can't tell y'all why I wanted to go. Just know I was finna be down now.
The spirit was on you. The spirit was on you.
Something else was on me too, but I can't.
We got them too. We got them too.
But anyway, because of like my love for Durham and my love for Central, like I have a second family in Durham. I have roots in Durham. So Durham was a comfortable move for me, but I had things going on personally with my mom when we graduated high school, and it kind of just warranted like staying in Greensboro. But in that, like, yes, I went to A&T as a second option, but then I met my kid's dad and
Okay.
I got married and I started having kids, things that I didn't plan. And for me, what piece of advice I would give myself is don't do anything that's not in the plan. You're gonna get those bumps in the road, but always stick to the script. Because me, I ended up finishing A&T in 2017. I went in 2010. I took time off, started having kids, but I felt so behind my peers, you know. But you said those experiences really developed me into the woman that I have become, because I can now go out here as an educator, as a nonprofit organizer, as a brown girl, and just like connect with other brown women, connect with young Black girls, and tell them, like, listen, this is what you got to do to be successful. It's not going to always be a straight road. Now, some people, they just get lucky and it's no bumps in the road.
Yeah.
But a lot of the things that we go through is because of our decisions, right?
Right.
And I think I was making decisions as an 18, 19-year-old when really I should have had a real adult in my ear telling me to sit down somewhere and stay focused, you know? So I say all that to say, Bethany, think back to like your young self, maybe like 10 to 20 years ago. What advice, and I'm gonna say 20 because we've been out of high school for at least 14.
Oh, you ain't had to say that, girl.
Oh, girl, we getting old, girl. My back hurt just thinking about it. Oh,
you know, I'm trying to cover up these gray hairs.
Girl, I got gray everywhere. I'm so glad y'all can't see it on the camera, child. But what, Bethany, would you give yourself 10 or 20 years ago? And how do you think that advice would have helped you at that time?
So the biggest thing about my childhood was when I was 12, my father committed suicide. And that really, nothing was more traumatic than that. Nothing at all was more traumatic than that situation. And one thing I wish I could have told myself during that time was to give myself grace. Because at that point, I felt the need to try to provide comfort for my mom, provide comfort for my brothers, to provide comfort for people who were against me. I was trying to live up to what I thought they wanted me to live up to. I was supposed to be Michael King's daughter, and I didn't want to fail him. I didn't want to make it seem as though something was wrong with me. So I wanted to become this super Christian girl, and I wanted to just be this fun-loving person for everyone. And so I became super critical of myself, and in turn became a people pleaser. Like, I never wanted anyone to get offended by me or get upset with me, because I kind of felt like that's what happened to my father. Like, he was not accepted fully by everyone. And I didn't want that for myself. And in turn, it literally, I started to implode. And so, it took a lot of time for me to kind of get to where I am now. And the funny thing is, my middle name is Grace. So, being able to give myself grace is something that I've been working on for the past like 3 years, of just loving myself. Because shoot, don't let me talk about my love life up here. Okay. I done gave a lot of niggas grace. Okay. So it's like, for myself, too much grace going around, not enough for me. You feel me? Too much grace. And so, I think this year, being able to give myself grace and trusting myself and pouring into myself is the only thing that I'm focused on. And I love that, because every decision I have been making thus far has only been from myself. It's what I wanted to, not what people said I should do, not what I thought people may think about it if I do or do not do it. Oh, will people hate this? What does Bekay want to do? Okay. That's it. Bekay, you want to do that? Yeah, girl, let's do it. That's what's going on. That's what the goings on is. So, I think for myself, if I could say something, it is funny because I just posted something where it's like, would your 14-year-old self be proud of you? And it's like, girl, that child was mentally ill. I don't care what she thinks. But it was like, you know, I was just such in a place of like survival as my childhood. And I just wish I would have given myself more grace. So yeah, that's it.
I love how you are like talking about your experience through grief and how that transcended into your adult life of just like doing what I want to do. I feel like I've had that same experience through the death of my brother. My brother passed almost 4 years ago. And I think that might have been the catalyst event in my life. Like I done been through a lot of sugar, honey, iced tea, right?
Okay.
But I've always seemed to persevere and overcome those things. But as I lost my brother, somebody who was really close to me, you know, it was like, damn, hold on,
it's hit different.
It was like a hold on.
Yeah.
And it was very different. One of those things that I could sweep under the rug and keep going. It was one of those things where the mirror was so damn close to my face that all I could do was be just like you. Don't fuck with, excuse my French, y'all, but forget what anybody thinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what's best for you. Do what's gonna make you happy, even when it don't make sense to other people. And honestly, that's how the Brown Girls Brunch became a thing. It was my brother's passing, grief, not wanting to, and we were 2 years apart. He was 30 when he passed. So for me, it was like, oh shoot, 2021, I'm 29 years old, and I'm scared as it's me again. Are you gonna call me home at 30?
Right.
Damn clip. You know what I'm saying? And I think that when I got in that mode of just whatever, like I'm about to go get it, I'm about to do whatever, like everything changed. Now, I was grieving several things. I was grieving the loss of my brother. I was grieving the loss of a very significant relationship in my life. And I think it was just like too much. But it was so much that it was the gas that I needed in my tank to be like, oh, okay, let's go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's game time now. And I just really appreciate you know, how grief, it's this up and down thing, but it has a way to propel you if you allow it to. I think that's a commonality that we share. Bethany, tell me to you, like we both are obviously light-skinned women. We have all that light skin, yada, 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 like, and I am honestly like, I love the chocolate girls. I got a chocolate baby.
Me too.
I love the chocolate men. Like, girl, love. And I can't wait to June. What do you as a brown girl think it means to really be like a virtuous brown girl?
Yeah, I think one thing for myself, unfortunately being light skinned, it's like sometimes we get this choice, right? Whether we claim it or not. Do you want to be Black or do you want to be ambiguous? Right? And so if you want to be Black, you have to be Black. You have to accept the culture wholly. You have to embrace it. And you have to take accountability for the privilege that you have. And for me, like, being virtuous means that because I am a Black woman, I know what it feels. I know the pain. I know the hurt. I know the strength that we have. I know the grace that we give. I know the uniqueness and the creativity that we bring to the table. Anything I can do to propel my people, my sisters forward, that's what it means to be a virtuous Black woman. You know, yes, we have to work twice as hard. Sometimes we have to hold the women down, the men down, the kids down, ourselves down. And we do it, and we've been doing it, and we will continue to do it. And so who am I to stray away from that path? Who am I to say that, oh, this is so tiring? Girl, people bedtime. Okay, hair bedtime. So, you know, I think for myself, being a brown girl is it's a privilege. And with privileges come responsibility, because I didn't have to be blessed to be a brown girl. I didn't have to be blessed to be, you know, this beautiful Black woman, to be a part of this beautiful culture with, you know, all of our spirituality and our creativity and our love and our magic that we have. This a privilege. I was blessed with this skin tone. I was blessed with this opportunity to be called a Black woman. So, you know, I don't take it lightly. I love everything about Black people. Most things, you know, sometimes certain things, you know, we can cut off, like, you know, customer service could be a little better with our businesses and stuff like that. But, you know, in general, you know, I love Black people. I love us so much. I love it so deep. That's why you went to an HBCU. I went to, you know, an HBCU. That's for a reason. We could have gone to UNCG. We could have went to UNC Charlotte. You know, we could have went to Elon. We could have went to North Carolina, Chapel Hill and Duke, but we wanted to go to North Carolina Central. You wanted to go to A&T. We wanted to be a part of the culture that we saw growing up in Greensboro. And that's one of the biggest things about Greensboro. It is so enriched with Black culture. It's like, it's beautiful. So I love being Black. I am a Black woman. And let me say, this is the first time I've ever spent a lot of time talking about light skin, because I hate it. I love, you know, I love my color. I love, you know, that's what God made me. But it makes me uncomfortable, because I really like to focus on just being a Black woman. You know what I'm saying? And so it is weird to say these things, but yeah.
To be said, because the reality is the society we live in has always tried to even pit us against each other.
Right.
Brown women. Oh, you light skin. Oh, you brown. Like, no, baby, we are all one. We are all sisters. And if we want to keep it a band, if we know anything about science and the color spectrum, we wouldn't even exist without her right here anyway.
Okay.
So it don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But I love as a brown girl, the resilience that we possess. Yes. It's like nothing that can keep us down, from history to present day. You know, we endure a lot. And Malcolm X's famous quote is like, the Black woman is the most disrespected, like disregarded woman on this planet. Yep. And she is. But that's why the Brown Girls Brunch is like a movement that I am so passionate about pouring into. Like, people are like, why do you spell brown like that? While networking, goal setting, and like, honestly, just being real with ladies of significance. Like, that's it. Like, we are redefining what it means to be a lady of significance. Like, that's what Brown Girls are, like, is. Like, that's what it is. That's what it stands for. And I think that when we talk about being a lady of significance, that does include supporting each other, even when we don't always agree. Yeah, could have did that a little different, but that's we're not here to tear each other down. And so again, I just can't thank you enough for like, girl, yeah, I want to go.
You know I was gonna turn that down. You know I was gonna turn that down. We go way back, like kind of like 4 flats. You know I was in there.
What was your first thought when I hit you up like, Bethany, we want you to host the Brown Girls Brunch?
I literally, so this is the thing when it comes to my Instagram, right? You are in one of, like, I hate now I'm just telling all my business. So I have like your general, and then you have your primary, right? Everybody who I like talk to on a regular day, or my home girl, like, you're in that category. So when I saw it, and I thought you was gonna say something about, a post I made or whatever. And so I click on it, I'm like, hell yeah. That's my girl. You're right. Like, what? Yes, give it a mic. Like,
got to have, and girl, it's gonna be at the living room. Like, we got that.
You know how many times I'd have been to the living room up in Durham?
The living room.
I love the living room.
You at the living room. But I'm super excited about like you being a part of it. Because honestly, girl, everybody been telling me, like, when you emailed me, when you DM me, I was like, oh my God. But in my head, I was like, oh my God. Because I was just appalled at like everybody being like, hell yeah, I want to be a part of this. Yeah. Because that's my vision for the brunch. That was my vision from day one when I started this in 2021. Like, it started at my house, but my plan was always to grow it every year and eventually get more brown girls involved so that we can really connect and collaborate. My last question, Bethany, what are you most excited about as it pertains to attending the Brown Girls Brunch and being on the gold carpet?
So number one, it's a brunch. So I'm looking for the mimosas. That's number one. Okay.
Baby, they're gonna be in the tower networking table, baby. We want y'all to be able to fill the cups up as you please. Yes.
That's number one. Okay. But no, on a serious note, like being able to be around powerful women that are celebrating one another. I'm so excited. I was looking at the nominees, and I know a lot of these young ladies. I've seen them start their businesses. I've seen how they have grown their businesses. So for them to be recognized is beautiful, for them to be recognized by their own. It's a difference between when I get recognized at work and or a black man recognize me, but when a black woman comes up to you and say, girl, you're doing a great job, I see you, that's a completely different feeling. So I'm going to be so happy to be in a number. You already know how I'm going to be on this red carpet. I'm looking for the fit. Okay, girl, what you got on? Okay, is that House of Durion? Okay, you feel me? Like, is that? I want to see the baby fit. Okay?
And that's what we need on the carpet right there, ma'am. Please,
listen.
Let me see the shoe. Hold up the pant leg. See, that's why we don't need to be on.
Yeah, is it pastries by BRWN daughters? That's what they look like. They're like Angela and a homegirl shoes. But
what we got on today, sis. I'm so excited. I mean, like this, I ain't gonna lie, girl. This event has been planning it has been so fun because I have really got a chance to really open myself up to doing stuff like this. Like I'm sitting here posting these videos on YouTube, girl. I can never post on YouTube by myself, so I'm enjoying like it bringing me out of my box as well. But I am most excited to just see all of y'all on May 18th at 2 p.m. to see each and every single one of you ladies attending the Brown Girls Brunch. And it is my hope and prayer that like not only do you all connect with someone that you never met before, but equally like get as many networks as you can, because contrary to what we think, we need each other. And it does not always have to be a competition, and it doesn't always have to be best friend, buddy, but it does need to always be a mutual respect for each other's hustle, each other's grind, and simply sis, I see you. So sis, I see you, and thank you.
I see you, and I just want to say I'm very proud of you. I am extremely proud of you. I'm so proud of your growth. I'm so proud of you doing this as a mother. You didn't allow any of your obstacles to stop you, and that's what makes your story so beautiful. No one would care about your story if you did everything picture perfect. People always need that inspiration, and so I commend you. You are someone who I aspire to be, and I'm so excited to attend this for you. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for having me in your journey. I appreciate that.
Oh my gosh, girl, that just hit me in the chest like a ton of bricks, because y'all know I'm a punk off camera. Wait, don't take that literally. Don't take that literally.
Hey.
No, Jesus. But no, please. Girl, thank you so much. That was super heartfelt. I absolutely am feeling the same way. Those sentiments are likewise and reversed right back to you, sis. I see all of y'all, and I'm just so grateful for each and every one of you, because what y'all don't realize is y'all are the ones that's making the brunch do what it needs to do. So yes, thank you again, Bethany, Bekay, Grace, host of the Hard. Already know what time it is. This is the Brown Girls Herstory segment. Bethany, yours might air tomorrow.
Oh God! You see that? You saw the
confetti. Girl, thank you again, Bethany. It was so good chatting with you, and I know we will be in touch soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.